everybody and welcome back. Today I'm making a video about chick care. From how you get your brooders started, which is the house that they live in, from what they eat, what they drink, what we put into the brooder at the bottom, when they're ready to go out, and then I'm also going to introduce our chicks. Now is the third time that we've had chicks in our house, so by no means am I an expert, but I'm just going to let you guys know on what we do, what we didn't like, and what we changed, and now why we ended up liking it. So first, I'm going to talk about the brooder. The brooder is what they live in, and we currently have this clear container, and we absolutely love it. It was easy. We just went to the store, grabbed the container, boom, we're done. We like that we can see in it. My 5-year-old, she likes that she can always see the chicks no matter where she's at, rather than having to come here, get on a step stool, and look into it. But people also, what they like to do is make like a wooden box, and then they use like chicken wire to be able to see through it, or maybe it's just a box. I've seen other people use bigger tubs depending on how many chickens that you have, but we've only had 3 in there at a time, and then 4 at a time, and now 3 again. So this works just perfect for us. And then they also, like, as they get a little bit bigger, they will start to perch up on here. And because of that, my dogs get really excited, and then the chickens get excited, and then they jump out. Just like this morning, I had to get my one little puppy out of the room because she'll just go nuts. The other dog that I have, he's a little bit older, so he's okay with it. He'll just sit there and watch me chase the chicken around. But because of that, once they start jumping around, a lot of times I'll put this up on top of it, and that is just a leftover piece from what we put underneath our deck. And this worked just perfect. I just set it right on top of it, and then it keeps them from wanting to fly out. Next, I'm going to talk about the food that they eat. You can easily just go to a Tractor Supply or any kind of like a farming and animal supply, and you can get the food for your chicks. They do make medicated and non-medicated chick food. We have been using the medicated chick food, and we have no problems with it, but the only thing with that is if you do have a chick that does get some kind of like an infection or something, a lot of times the medicine that you use for the chicks will require you to use non-medicated chick food. So in a way, it might be better for you to use non-medicated chick food, but we have been using the medicated one. And like I said, it's been working out just fine for us. We currently have their food in this little tray here. This came with our dog kennel. And I figured it was just laying around, so it would do just fine for the food for right now. And then as far as the water goes, we did get this from our Tractor Supply right here. And we fill up the water twice a day. Once in the morning when I wake up, I just come and simply switch it out. And then right before I go to bed, I put new water in it as well. They won't by no means drink all of it within that time, but they like to have fresh water, so that's very important. And then I'm going to talk about the bedding that we use at the bottom. We did use wood shavings, and the wood shavings I do not recommend. I could not stand it. It made such a mess. The chickens at the bottom, they like to scratch around, do their little chicky thing, and because of that, they kick all the wood shavings up in the air, and then they're kicking it into the water. And every single time I'd walk into the room, I'd sit there and be picking out the wood shavings, and then I'd feel bad. So, because they also kind of get their poop in there as well when they're kicking it around. So then I was like changing out the water like 5-6 times a day, and it was just annoying. So now I did some research about it, and I found these pellets. And it's just these little pellets like this, and they absorb so much water. They don't kick them around because they're a lot more heavy, so it's just perfect. It worked out so well. And these two, I just get our local Tractor Supply right here, the pelletized bedding. It was like, I think $6 for this big bag, so we love that. It's so much better. And I just keep this right here next to the brooder, along with the food. I keep it just in this container, and it's a lot easier for my 5-year-old too to just simply take a couple scoops and throw it in there. Makes it easier for her. She's more involved with it.
That's a good video.
Next, I'm going to talk about the heat lamp. I know a lot of people, they don't recommend it. They cause like house fires, barn fires, all of that. But we haven't had an issue with it. I'm almost always home. So I don't really see a problem with it. However, in the future, we have been talking about maybe getting a heat plate for if we want to have more chicks. It might just less chance, I guess, of a fire. So, but the only thing with that is it is a little bit more of an investment. These really cheap heat plate, you're going to be spending a little bit more money. So if you plan to be raising lots and lots of chicks throughout the years, I do recommend that you put the money towards that. Next, I would like to talk about the feathering. So the chicks, when they're born, they don't have like their full feathers that they have once they're grown up and they're outside. So when they first are born, they look a lot like this little one here. I mean, she's a little older, but for the most part, she has a lot of the baby feathering in there yet, so she can't be outside. So this one here, she is definitely ready to go outside. She's fully feathered. However, we don't want to put her outside yet because she would be by herself and the older ones, they're going to pick at her. Where once the other two are ready, we'll put all three of them out there and then they'll kind of be able to have each other's backs when the older ones are pecking at them, just, to figure out their order of who's head honcho and who's just the bottom ones. But so at the first couple weeks, they definitely need the heat lamp a lot more than as they're growing up. Once they start getting more of their feathering in, then we turn off the heat lamp 15 minutes at a time, half hour, going on an hour or two. As they're getting older, we turn it off a lot more. And then we'll have it off for a few days before we do put them outside, just to get them used to like the regular room temperature in here. Another thing I like to say about the chicks is how they sleep. So when they're sleeping, they lay their heads down like flat. And the first time that I walked in on them sleeping, I was scared. I thought all of them had passed away. But once I got closer, they heard me and they all started chirping again. So like I had said, I do have a daughter. She's almost 6 years old, and I have another one that's 4 months old right now. But with the 6-year-old, it's really great for her having these chicks in here too, because she is learning really good hand washing techniques. Every time that she touches the chicks, she knows that she has to go and wash her hands afterwards, and she's got it down how she's got to wash her hands with the soap and water for 20 seconds, sometimes longer because she likes the bubbles. Now I'm going to introduce you to the chicks. And sorry, my dog just kind of bumped into that. That's why I shook a little bit. First, I'm going to start with, this is, our little Silky right now. Her name is Midnight. You can see she kind of has her wing feathers in already. And if you haven't heard about a Silky, they don't have normal feathers like most chickens do. Theirs looks a lot more, I've read some people say it kind of feels like fur, but yeah, more like silk, I guess. And they have 5 toes instead of the 4 like most do. And they also have like feathering going on their feet as well. So that kind of makes them different from most chickens. But they're just beautiful. We're so excited to have her a part of our flock. Now we have our little Polish chick right here, and her name is Pom Pom. If you don't know about Polish chicks, they have a crazy top hat up here, and their feathers go all over the place. It just makes them look so cute. So this one here will have an all-black body with the white feathers up on its head. And we named her Pom Pom because of the feathers that will be growing out of her head. And again, another really cool chick. We're really excited to have this one as well. It'll be very fun to watch her grow. And her feathers on her wings look like they're pretty well grown out, but we're waiting kind of around the neck and everything here. This right here is Grace. She is our Lavender Orpington. I've been wanting this breed for a while, and we finally found one at a swap that I really was excited about and wanted to take home. Yeah, she's looking up at me. All the chicks that we have, I'm always really excited to see how they grow, just to watch them and how they change. And she's one too. I'm really excited to see what she looks like when she's full grown. So if you liked this video, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel. It would help me out a lot. I plan on introducing my entire flock outside and talking about the different breeds and making more videos about stuff that you guys might suggest to me on things that you would like to see. And let me know of how you guys go about raising your chicks and your brooders. Anything that I missed out that you'd like to add in there, or just let me know. I would really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching.